Welcome to my course. So, why you should learn HTML? Well, in the modern day world that has its foundation built on interconnectivity through the internet, this becomes an absolute necessary. So, you're going to get a full access to my HTML and HTML5 ebook, and you will get a complete 50 pages of ebook. So this particular ebook is going to cover a basic topic to advanced topic and gets you on your way to front-end developer very quickly. Maybe majority of chapters you already knew, but you might get to know some topics that you need to brush on. Each chapters are broken up so it would be easy to read and really need to understand. And you're going to work with images, how you're going to add the images through absolute path and relative path. So basically you can add images in two different methods, and you will try to see each and every attributes in the image tags as well. And you're going to work with entities which describe different symbols on your browser. And you're going to work with anchor tags as well as videos, which are HTML5 new elements. You're going to work with audios as well. You have a complete understanding of tables, which I'm going to show you on my later class sessions. And you're going to see each and every attributes of tables, forms, as well as a beautiful form tags and its descriptions, how exactly a forms will work on a browser. So you have different attributes in a form as well. So we will go across with each and every topic, and I'm going to work on every specific chapter individually. HTML5 new input elements such as colors, range, and many other new elements. You're going to work with HTML5 new tags, you can see on the left side, and you're going to work with HTML5 layouts as well. Apart from that, you will work with HTML5 canvas as well as SVG elements in HTML5, and you will see the difference between SVG and canvas. As well, you work with web storage, local storage, and session storage, how the information of data can be stored locally on your computer. I'm going to explain this chapter as well. And you're going to work with me session storage, application cache, which makes the web browser to work offline when you visit online pages. So on the offline mode also, you can visit some online pages. That's an application cache, which I'm going to work with you as well. And you're going to go with geolocations. It's something basically like Google Maps. How exactly you're going to work with this coordinate levels. Okay. So apart from that, you will also work with server sent events, and as well as you will see with me drag and drop. Each and every chapter is carefully jotted down so that you're not going to miss any of the topic. Welcome to my course. Myself, I'm V. Praveen Kumar. I personally would like to thanks for watching or joining the course. I make all of these classes myself. There is no big company or corporation behind this. I have a nice little home studio setup. I love creating, programming, launching, learning, and teaching. I've got more than 15 years of experience as a complete full-stack developer. I also train at Udemy, and you can see this is where I take my classes on a daily basis. I answer questions posted to the class twice a day, so please feel free to post any question, and in most cases, I'll have an answer for you within 48 hours. That's it. Thanks again and have fun in the course. In this session, we are going to understand what exactly is HTML. Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It was first developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990. Well, HTML is a client-side language. So what exactly is a client-side language? Let me explain this. Client-side language is nothing but it is a language which is by default understood by the browser. Basically, we use browsers for going online. So browsers by default understand HTML. That's what I say is HTML is client-side language. So when I say client-side language, it is nothing but it is a language which by default understood by browser. That means you don't have to install any softwares. HTML natively understood by the browsers. HTML is used to create electronic documents called pages that are displayed on World Wide Web page. So obviously when you do browsing, you will go and visit online World Wide Web pages. So it's going to generate an electronic documents. Okay. So HTML is not a programming language, but it's simply a marking language. So when you're learning HTML, you don't expect any kind of fundamental hard coding or kind of logical programming. We will not be doing all those stuff. It's just a marking language which marks onto the content. A marking language is a set of marking tags. Obviously HTML, if you want to use a bold, you might be using B tag. If you want to make it italic, you might be using I tag. So let me give you an example here. So let's say I'm in a Wikipedia and I'm searching in Wikipedia World Wide Web. So when you see this article is a collection of somewhere you can see bold, okay, a bit of headings. Any word is important, they are stressing with bold or heading tags, then these things are done with HTML. So if you can see this is kind of numbered list. Okay, so you might be saying that this is a subheading font, so this is a para. So basically how exactly you want to mark the content with the marking tags is what HTML will do. You're not going to expect any design on this page. It's simply a marking language. Let me show you one more example. I'm on Amazon.com, and when I click on some product, like let's say I want to click on this AC, and when I click on it, you might be seeing several products over here. So I'm going to go to here, but before we go and further check in depth, you can see that this product, the pricing is a bit bigger. The previous price is being deleted. You can see the delete price. So these kinds of delete is done with delete tag. This is like big tag. Okay, so when I go here, you might be seeing something like unordered list, kind of some bold font here. You might be going with here also. This is bit heading, a bit bigger than rest of the font. These kinds of writing and displaying the content in a proper marking is what HTML will do through the marking tags. HTML uses a markup tags to describe a web page or control its content. Just now I showed you an example that if the price has to be big, we are trying to control the content of a big price or font to be big, we might be using big tag. So basically we will do all those stuff like that. HTML is widely used language on the web page. So what exactly that means is HTML is used in Java, HTML is used in PHP, HTML is used in WordPress, HTML is used in Python. So it's kind of server language though, but in spite of we are working on server, it is very mandatory that HTML is to be understood. So HTML is used in most of the languages on the online industry or online web development. That's the meaning of this one. Using HTML, we may just create a static page. So when I say static page is nothing but it is an information of the content which won't change throughout the days. For example, let's say I'm on a Wikipedia right now. So HTML develops a static page. That means this information, if I come tomorrow, let's say I want to refresh this page again, the information is same throughout the days. When I come and visit maybe after 4 days, the information is not going to change. So basically until and unless an editor won't change the article, this information won't change by itself. Is a static page. Let me click this one also, facebook.com. Now, when you are in a facebook.com, this is a main page, okay? So, information won't change. It is for all the people. So, information which won't change by itself is a static page. But when you log in after you successfully log in, you will see a list of your friends, your school friends, a posted content, and you will see most of the data information will not match with the other friend of yours. So his friends of others will not be same of your friends, means the information changing after you log in. Those are dynamic pages, right? So HTML basically develop only static pages. Clear? I hope you understood behind the scene. So that is something about the HTML. So I hope you understood, and I will see you on the next video. Until then, bye-bye. In this session, we are going to learn about the document structure of basic HTML. So if you find on page 8, you will see the basic structure of the HTML document. So this is the basic structure of the HTML document. But before we try to understand the structure of the document, let me go to page 10. So we are on page 10. So first we should know how to create a HTML file. So this is how you create. You can read this document. It says all the HTML files should be saved with .html as its extension, and these files can be saved anywhere on your computer. So you can save it in C drive or D drive, whatever the directories you have, you can save anywhere. But the easy access is I will save my files onto my desktop. So the basic thing we have to understand or remember is we have to save the files with .html, and we can save anywhere on the computer. And to execute these files, we need a browser. So all I request is we should have at least one browser by default installed. So it can be a Mozilla or Chrome or Internet Explorer, but any one browser is required. So first we will try to create the HTML file, and then I'll explain you how to create the document structure of the HTML page. So let's get started. So currently I'm on a desktop, and on desktop we have a HTML folder. Inside this HTML folder, I have created one more folder called HTML structure. Inside this, I will create one HTML file. So take a text file. Let's go and create a text file here. So I'm going to take a text document and then double click on it and just go and create that with save as. Let's say I want to create something like structure.html. So when you save anything with .html, give you the default icon, which is in my case, my browser is default Mozilla or Firefox. So .html giving me this icon, but in your case or in your computer, if your file by default is Chrome, the .html will give you Chrome icon. So I'm using Firefox, or you can use Chrome. That's not a big deal. So I don't need this file anymore. So I'm just deleting this one. Now what we'll do is, please try to see once again. I'm in a HTML folder, and in this we have a HTML structure. Inside this we have one structure.html. So what we'll do is we'll create this or open this with my VC code editor. So I'm going to open it by clicking on it. Now when you open the VC code editor, on the left side here, you will see the HTML which was on desktop, and in HTML we have HTML structure. In that we have structure.html. So click on it and this will open the file at the right side. So all we do is first we'll go and click an exclamatory mark, and once you click, you will have this short notation showing EMET abbreviation. Please hit on enter. Now that you hit on enter, just squeeze this up a left side. Now that you have clicked, you will see the complete structure of the document. So let me show you what this actually means. So we have a HTML head part, body tag, and HTML close, and in head we have a title, style, script, and meta. Let me show you on page 9, this one. Here the doc type, which you can see here, the doc type. So basically what it will tell the browser is, it is going to tell, it lets the browser know how the document should be interpreted by indicating what version or standard of HTML it is. So basically this is something it is telling the browser that this is HTML file. Next, we have HTML open and HTML close. We have head part and head part close and body tag. So if you see body tag, it is a place or visibility to the front-end user. So whatever you write in between the body tag, that will be showing on the browser. Okay, and in head part, it can hold something called title, which means used to display content on the menu tab or the browser. So let me go and write something in the title here. I'm going to write my first HTML page. Now when you save it, remember before I execute this, the body tag is empty. So let's go and run on the browser. So all you have to do is go to the location, which is here. This is where I save my file, and just go to document structure and click on double click. When you click on it, it will open on the browser screen, and you can see the title is displaying here, my first HTML tag. That's what you have written on the coding as a title. Now inside the body tag, let's say my first, or else let's take a famous word, hello world. So whatever you write inside the body tag, this is going to display on the front-end user. So let's go and run it. So you can see that this is displaying on the front-end user. So if you go to Amazon.com, now when you are on Amazon.com, this is giving you a lot of theory. You can see a lot of information is visible on the body tag. By default, on the browser screen, the body page is empty, but Amazon has been writing a lot of data. That's what I'm saying. Anything you write on the body tag, let's say I want to write something like P. This is some para content in HTML. So whatever you write over here inside the para, that will show again here. This is my para content in HTML. Let's go and write some more words like I want to use B tag. This is some bold content in HTML. So whatever you write in B tag will be bit bold. Yes. So basically you need to write anything you want to display on the front end. You have to write inside the body tag. At this point of time we are on a starting stage, so I've just written only 3 lines, but those are printed. So here you can see most of the data, like let's say HTML wiki. So wiki is been loading lot of data because the body tag has been written lot of information in the Wikipedia. So you can see when the Wikipedia is opening, it has got lot of data written by them. So at this point we are on a starting stage, so I'm just writing only 3 lines, and every tag has its marking. So we write P, which makes it bold. So I hope this is something you understood as a structural document. So when you go back to my PDF ebook, title, that's what I've showed you, the first area, title, which is used to display content on the menu tab. Next we have is style. Style is something which we use or display on a CSS pages, script for JavaScript, and meta. We have some meta details over here. This is something which is by default written by my VC code editor, but you should understand, we will try to understand this at later point of time, what exactly this line means. But if you want to really know what that is, at this point I will not elaborate much, but I can explain you only one thing, that this is something which will allow your browser to work on a responsive pages. At this point of time, the users which are visiting on the browsers, they might be visiting on the browser screen like desktop, or they might be displaying or showing them on a tablet, or they might be seeing the website on a mobile. So this explains the browser that the page should be responsive irrespective of what the customer is visiting from. Apart from that, we have body tag, which is used to display the content on the front end. So I hope you understood the structural document of the main page. Now that you have understood the structural document of the page, we will try to go and understand some HTML tags. So I'll see you on the next video. Until then, bye-bye. Hi, welcome back, and this session we are going to learn HTML formatting tags, which is in page 13. So basically formatting tags, we have many of them, but in this session I'm going to divide them into 2 parts, the heading tags and rest of the formatting tags. So HTML provides several tags that can be used to make some text on your web page to appear differently than normal text. For example, you want to use a tag as bold, you may use B tag, a tag as italic, you may use italic. So let's go and understand some of the formatting tags. So first we'll go to desktop, and here we have HTML folder, and in this folder we have a new folder called formatting tags. So I'll open this folder, and then we have a text file. Double click on it, and I'm going to save this file with save as, and I'm going to use heading.html. okay, so this is .html. Now that you know that we have a file inside a folder called, let me delete this first. So in the HTML folder we have a formatting tags, and then we have headings.html. So I'll open this with my VC code editor, and you can see here on the left side we have formatting tags and heading.html. So what we'll do is we'll just go and squeeze this out. Now we'll go and use exclamatory mark, hit on enter, and you got the ready-made document. Now save this file, and I'm going to use a title, headings in HTML. So this will display on my browser. Let's go and open it. Double click on it, and it shows nothing. The page is empty, but you can see the headings in HTML on the title tab. So go to the editor. Now in the body tag, the first tag we have is H1, which is a big heading font, and I will say this as, this is heading tag 1 in HTML. So let's go and run it. So when I refresh it, this is what we have as a biggest heading tag. Now in this way, let's go and type it H2. This is a second smallest tag compared to H1. So this is heading tag 2 in HTML. So let's save it and refresh. So this is a second heading tag, which is a bit smaller than the first one. Now in this way we have 6 heading tags. So I'm going to go and refresh this and just keep it over here as 3, and we will do the same thing here. 4, this is 5, and this is 6, and I'm going to spell it here H2 as H3 or tag 3. This one will be tag 4, this one will be tag 5, and this one will be tag 6. Now let's go and save it and run it on the browser. So these are the heading tags we have. Now basically where exactly you can use these headings. So obviously now that you know how to create heading tags, let's go to Amazon.com. So if you see here, we have this big headings. So these are basically created with heading tags. Now if you go to Flipkart, one of the Indian shopping website, you can see that here in the main page of the Flipkart, you have deals of the day. This is a heading tag. Let's go one of the product here. We have something called this product, a specs. This is heading. This might be subheading. So in this way, the heading tags are used on several of the websites for holding the heading information. I hope you got the information, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, bye-bye. In this session, we will learn the professional way of coding the heading tags. So last session we have done the heading tags, but let's see in a professional or fast way of doing the heading tags. So I'm on HTML folder, and in HTML we have a formatting tags, and we have created 2 HTML files, the heading tag and the HTML heading pro code. So basically we have done this previously only. So let's double click on this heading, and you can see on the browser we have done this headings. And if you see the coding over here in the HTML, we have HTML, this one heading.html, but here the pro coding, this page is empty. Only we have is heading pro code. So let's go and run this page. So this is like we have only this much. So I want the same thing to be written here, but in a kind of very fast manner, or else 7x faster. So basically, if you see this has h1, h2, this is heading tag 1, heading tag 2, heading tag 3. So I'll do the same thing over here a bit faster. All I will do is I'm going to use an embed shortcut method. So this is a shortcut key that you have to follow. H is a heading tag which is displaying it. You have to use a dollar. Dollar actually gives you 1, 2, 3, 4 in an order wise. But how many heading tags we want? We want 6 heading tags. So you have to use times of 6. So multiply with 6 and you can hit enter. But that gives you only the heading tags. But what we want is a theory also, or else you have to write one by one theory. So just go back again. This is a shortcut method. Now use a curl brackets. Inside this curl bracket you have something, a theory to be written. So I'm going to use, this is heading tag 1 in HTML. So please try to understand. If you don't, you have to see this one, shortcut method. If you don't see this, like if it's lost and you hit enter, nothing happens. So you need to bring it back. This is a formula and click on enter. We have h1, h2, h3 already done. But the question is, if you see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. But here again I have to write 2, 3. So instead of doing that, I'll go back. This is a shortcut method. All I'll do is, instead of saying 1, I'll give you a dollar here. That gives a kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 in an order wise. But when you hit enter, that won't work because I already insisted you that you lost the embed abbreviation. So if you don't find it, just close this or minus it or backspace and give a curl again. You have this embed abbreviation back. So once you see it, hit on enter. So that gives you the same information what you have done this. So let's go and refresh. This is done. So it's a kind of professional way of doing it very fast. So I want you to have this shortcut. So what I'll do is I'll write it again for you. This is h dollar, and I'm going to use this 6 times into 6, and I have a theory like this is heading tag dollar in HTML. So guys, basically if you see this, I personally request you, if you copy in your editor and paste it like this. Let's say you have pasted in your editor, okay, like this. It may not work because you're not seeing the abbreviation of embed. So just do one thing, minus it, then bring this abbreviation, then only it will work. Okay, I hope you got the shortcut method. So I'm going to comment it for you, and I want you to use the shortcut method so that the code can be done fast. So I'm going to use Control K, which will comment the shortcut key for you. So when you open this file, you can access this file at any time. I hope you understood the professional way of doing the coding fast, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, bye bye.